Today I'm going to use Dreamweaver to show you how you can add code to a basic HTML page and be able to view it in the split view. So you can basically write your own code. Starting in Dreamweaver, I'm going to go to File menu and choose New. When I get to the Start screen for the new document, I'm going to make sure New Document is selected on the left. I'm going to make sure the document type is HTML. Once those are set, I'm going to click Create. I like to leave my workspace set up in split view. Some people like to work in code view. I kind of like to see whatever I'm coding while it happens over here. I don't ever use live view because I find it doesn't work the way it's supposed to. Some of you might have older versions of Dreamweaver and you might see a button over here that says design view. I tend not to use that either. So as you can see, if you select an HTML document in Dreamweaver, it sets you up with some basic code here. Doc type HTML just tells the browser what type of document we're creating. There are things that'll fall between start tags HTML and the /HTML end tag down at the bottom. And you'll notice if you look at everything else, there are start tags for head, end tags for head. The stuff that falls between the two head tags is not visible to the user when they're viewing this in a browser. The one thing that will be visible to them that'll wind up at the top of the page is where it says untitled documents. You should change that almost immediately. I'm just going to change mine so that it says Lauren's page. That way when I preview this in a browser, at the top where it gives me the title, if the browser's set to do that, it'll say Lauren's page instead of untitled document. I'm not going to put anything else between the head tags. I'm going to start working in the body tags. If I want to, that first body tag, I can add something into it. I'm going to add in a background color by typing the word BG color equals. Everything has to be in quotation marks. So I can either choose a color from the color picker, if it lets me. Okay, if all else fails, I can just type the code in there. Or not. Okay, it did put it in, and I need to put a quotation mark after it, and then it'll turn the background to a lovely shade of whatever green. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an image onto my page. I'm going to decide to center my image, so I'm going to type. Everything is in carets, the word center, and the code for adding an image, img src equals everything in quotation marks, and I'm just going to dig over here. This should work. I can do anything that has an exact URL. I'm just going to dig my URL out. I like to copy and paste out of my web browser just to make sure I don't mess things up. I'm going to align my image. To the bottom. And just add a close to my center tag, which sometimes if I type it, I'm typing it out and Dreamweaver automatically adds it in there, and then I just go back and delete. I'm going to add something that I never ever put into websites anymore, and that is a horizontal rule. So again, it's something I type between tags, HR, which will insert a horizontal rule. There it is. Next, I'm going to put a basic link into there, typing a space href equals, and again, in quotations, anything that follows an equals. I'm going to put my own website, http://cartoongoddess.com. And if I want someone to know, this is like one of those things, if I want someone to know that the name of the site is Cartoon Goddess, I can type that right after I type that caret that follows the quotation mark following the name of the website, or I can just be vague and type my site /a, and we added in an extra bracket there. But as you can see, if you're looking in the design window, I now have a link there. I can add text before that. If I think I want to add in a headline, I can add H1 tags. And it'll give me some larger size text. Or a more medium size head tag, H2. One thing that I will often add into websites is something called a mail to link, where I can say and again to type that out, it's the same href link, href, but we type it a little differently. Equals, because it's a mail to colon and then I type whatever email address I want to use, end it with a bracket. I can also type in the email address there because I usually want people to see that. The user doesn't see all that ahref stuff. They just see cartoongoddess@gmail.com and it's a hot link, which means if they click it, they wind up at my site. If I want to start a new paragraph, that's going to fall between P tags. And as I'm doing this, you'll see, like in that little black box where I have all the code, you will see the little yellow, white helper box popping up with code suggestions. So if I'm having one of those days where I'm blanking out or I can't remember things or I haven't had enough coffee, the little helper stuff is in there. I mean, I can use a bare bones editor. I can use any kind of text editor and just type straight code, but sometimes it's more interesting to do it in Dreamweaver. And if I want to duplicate things really quickly, I can just copy, return, paste. If I want to make this slightly different, perhaps I want to bold the text. Or copy, return, paste, and I can make something bold and italics. And perhaps since I've constructed the most basic but probably one of the ugliest pages that I've produced, I'll put another horizontal rule at the bottom. So there you have it, a basic HTML pages. Everything that falls between the body tags will be visible to the user, and everything that falls between the head tags will not. You now know how to center an image and add a hot link that is cookie that will take the user to a site. Oh, that was something I didn't show you. One last thing. Because I put that in there, under that first Ahref link, if I don't want it to open up in the same page, I will add target equals, not plus sign, equals, quotations, underscore, and you can see the little yellow helper, little white helper boxes popping up. Blank. Okay, so now when that link opens up, when the user clicks here and opens up, it's going to open in a different window in their browser instead of in the same window. And that is it for today.